guys, we are almost done with our information. We have three consecutive presidents that are next, and it's going to be Ronald Reagan, which you might remember him from the Hollywood 10, and the HUAC. We're going to have George Bush Sr., and we're going to have Bill Clinton, right? Now, the Reagan presidency is from 1981 to 1989, and we're going to start off with his economic policy known as Reaganomics. It's a reverse trend of large government, where government has full control. It's going to be more power back to the people. You have a supply side economics. Supply meaning you're going to produce more. When you produce more people you're going to hire more people, and when you hire more people, they have the ability to spend on these products that you're creating. So you're going to have the deregulation of many industries. There was tax cuts and cuts in domestic spending. And that was known as Reaganomics. Now we're getting into Sandra Day O'Connor. She was the first woman appointed to the Supreme Court. Keep her in mind, she's very important to know. Sandra Day O'Connor. Now migration, you're going to have a lot of people move from the north to the south, from the Rust Belt, which is this part right here, into the Sun Belt here. And basically because in the 1970s, 1980s, the creation of the air conditioner was created, so now it makes the heat from the south a lot more tolerable because you have technology like the AC to help you with that temperature, right? So movement from the Rust Belt to the Sun Belt. Now, under Reagan, you're going to have the Iran-Contra affair. He negotiated with Iran to free hostages in Lebanon. And he sold arms to the Contras. We'll be going over the Contras when we get in class, okay? Now, our next president is going to be President Bush, the Bush presidency from 1989 to 1933. Now, his domestic policy, how he deals with problems here in the home front, he faced a growing budget deficit, right, where the budget, we weren't making enough money, and we had a debt. There was civil unrest after Rodney King beating. Rodney King was an African American who was beat up by LAPD, and it was caught on film, and it was sent to the newspapers and to the news stations, and riots erupted. He created the Americans with Disability Act of 1990. Basically, it's going to allow or make every public office or school or public place to have ramps for people with wheelchairs and buttons, so that way the doors can open to keep them able to, move from place to place. Now, foreign policy, the Cold War ends under President Bush. You have the invasion of Panama, the Berlin Wall is torn down, and the Persian Gulf War begins, where the United States forces were sent to prevent an invasion of Kuwait by Iraq. Right, so we're trying to protect Kuwait, which is a small country in the Middle East, right? And we are keeping them from being invaded from Iraq. We also have Somalia. If you've ever seen the movie Black Hawk Down, this is the war that, or the conflict that it entails, where humanitarian airlift of food was taken into Somalia. Now the Clinton presidency, 1993 to 2001, his domestic policy, he cut federal spending and raised taxes on the rich, which of course a lot of people like that. He proposed healthcare reform, which fell to pass. It's kind of like Obamacare, but his fell to pass. He made a contract with America and Newt Gingrich. We'll be going over the contract with America in class. The computer industry success and peace dividend led to economic prosperity. Computer industry success. This is the creation of the internet, computers. This is where it becomes very high-tech in the United States. Impeachment proceedings along party lines. We'll go over impeachment. Now, his foreign policy, NAFTA was created, which impacts Laredo significantly. NAFTA is the North American Free Trade Agreement, and basically three countries, the United States, Canada, and Mexico, were able to trade freely. And of course, after NAFTA, the Laredo just exploded, not literally, but business-wise, because you have so much movement with import-export in Laredo, and that's because of NAFTA. The war in Kosovo, the United States forces were sent as part of NATO coalition to halt ethnic cleansing. You're going to have another genocide attempt like we had in Africa. So the United States sent forces to kind of keep this conflict from occurring. In China, we helped China join the World Trade Organization. The efforts failed to end human rights abuses. Now, notable entrepreneurs or business people, you're going to have Bill Gates, which we know was the founder of Microsoft and one of the first to recognize the potential of the personal computer, the PC. Sam Walton. Sam Walton is the founder of Walmart and the 5 and dime department store that grew to become a worldwide chain. Estee Lauder, for girls, y'all know who that is. That is the founder of one of the world's largest cosmetic lines or makeup. Robert Johnson, African American entrepreneur, businessman, founder of BET, Black Entertainment Television. And Leonel Sosa, he was the Hispanic advertising genius who saw the enormous potential of the United States Hispanic market. Okay, if you have any questions, do let me know.